Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We've been playing with a new drop-down module and a new text link module, and we've created a little menu here. Looks pretty much like a regular menu, but of course we've got a few icons there. Got a drop down on one of my links here, and I've made it responsive. If I hit my F12 key, you'll see those links disappear. The hamburger's back up there. And we've got a drop down with the same little things going on here. I've kept this very simple today, but it opens up some amazing possibilities for creating all kind of different styled menus. I'll show you exactly how to do it. It's really easy. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead to my dashboard. Let's make a global header out of this. I'm going to go down to Divi, down to Theme Builder, and we'll create a global header. I'm going to build a global header. We'll go ahead and build from scratch. I'm going to add a row with a single column in it. In my column, well, I'll have my little logo, so let's add an image module. There's my logo. Make it the size I want it over in design here. I think 180 pixels is what I like. Pop PX on the end. I'll put pixels in for you. If you don't, it may have a percentage there, but you can select pixels over here if you need to. Great, well let's add another module. Now hit the little plus to add a new module. And here I'm going to add a little link module. Brand new module they just added. And there it is right there. Of course, you're going to want to put in your where you want to take your people. Great thing about this is you can add an icon if you want to. Let's find a home icon perhaps. Now, of course, I don't want it on the top there. I'm actually just going to use an arrow for mine for expediency, but you can choose a different icon for each of your links. So let's take that away and we'll go back to the arrows. I'm just going to use a right-hand arrow for mine. Of course, don't want it there, don't want it as big as that. If you saw yesterday's video, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back over to design, layout, saying it's left to right, but it's not. If we hit right to left, puts it over there. If I hit this again, it's in line with it, but it's way too big there, obviously. So let's close down the layout, make the icon the size that I actually want it. Of course, you can choose a color up there as well. Let's try 16 pixels. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's try 18 pixels will do. A little bit too much of a gap there, so we can take care of that in spacing. Back in the layout just above, it says it's got 10, but that looks a lot more than 10 to me, so let's put another 10 in there fresh. Click off of it. That seems a little bit more like it. Now if you want to center that to your icon, you can do that with a bit of line height. If we go down to our text down here, of course you can change colors, change fonts, do whatever you want in the text here. With Divi, I'm sure you know, if you roll over one of these fonts, it'll give you an example. I'm going to leave mine on the default. But if we adjust the line height, I'm taking it down a bit, we can actually centralize it with that little icon. Depending on the size of your icon, you may need to do that. Now you can go on, you can put a hover effect underneath if you want with a line or something, or you can put a border around it. I'm going to keep this very simple by just leaving it exactly like that. Do want to make sure that it's aligned to the left, which it should be by default. What I'm going to do now is copy it. Actually, for expediency, I'm not going to change anything in the text. So let's put that back to text link. And all my links will have that. And obviously, you're going to want to put a link in yours to take them to the home page or wherever it is you want yours. So now I've got it generic. I can just duplicate it with the two little squares here as many times as I want. Let's do 6. That's great. Now what I'm going to do is go into the row, the green tab. Once in the row, I'm going to go down to elements. Inside our row is a single column. There it is right there. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go over to my design and flex again, layout. This time I want it going from left to right, so it's nicely in line like that. I also want them to be nicely centered. So I'm going to roll down a bit to align items. I can make it centered just like that. Perfect. And we can also hit center up here if you want everything right in the middle. That'll work for me too. Great. From that's going to be our basic desktop menu right here. Now, say we want to add a little drop down to one of these. We've got more menu items. Let's take this, perhaps this third one along, just to indicate it's got a drop down. I'm going to go into the content and the text. I'm going to put a little right hand arrow. You could use an alt code for a down chevron if you wanted. That's fine. And I want to add a little drop down to it. Now, to save time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into one of these links. I'm going to hit the little three dots here. I'm going to save it to my library. And we'll call it new T-Link or whatever you want to call yours, just so you can copy it a little bit easier. So now I'm going to go back into the one I want to add a drop down to. And the content, we can go to elements, add an element. What do we want to add? A drop down. There's the new drop down right there. Perfect. And by default, it drops it underneath it to the left hand side. And you can decide where you want to put it. We'll do that in a minute. Now we're actually in the drop down. We can start adding the elements. You can see by default, it's got a black background. I'll leave it like that. You can change the background, obviously in background, which you'll always find under content in any module, section or row. So let's go back up to elements and we'll add what we want to add. You know exactly what we want to add, another text link. So I'll add that from the library. We just saved it. New T-Link. Perfect. And again, you're going to want to put in different links. We'll go over here. I'm going to hit the two little squares to duplicate it a few times. Let's do 6 down there as well. And if you wanted to have a sub-menu item, I'm sure you figured out how to do that. In fact, let's just copy this drop down. It would be the quickest way of doing it, as I'm using exactly the same links. I'm going to save this to my library. We'll give it a name. New drop. And we can go into the link that we want to have the drop down from. Let's perhaps go into number 4 this time. Just click on it. Sure you know what to do now. Over to content, elements. We want to add an element. I'm going to add it from library. If you're building from scratch, obviously you want to just add your drop down and build as you need. Let's add from library. There's my new drop. Perfect. Doesn't look like it's got my little links in there, so let's just duplicate that a few times. We've got 6 of those in there. And while we're in the drop down, if we go over design and drop down, we can decide whether it's floating, whether it's in line, which means it'll just add it to the one that's there. As you can see, pulls it in from the, indents it in from the side a little bit there. I'm happy with floating, but when I talked about position, I want it to the left perhaps. And you can have it at the start, which is the beginning of the link it's on, to the center, in the middle of it, or at the end. Obviously the start's going to work best for us. And if you need to offset it a bit more, you can do that way. That's absolutely fine. You can also choose right here whether you want to hover over it or click on it. Just fun. Let's change this to click. Let's go back into this text link right here. And I'll do the same thing. I'll put a little chevron over in text and content here, just to let people know something's going on there. Fantastic. You may have noticed when I put that in there, it's slightly widened our drop down. If I go back into this drop down, we go over to sizing, you'll see that it's set to max content. In other words, the widest link you've got in there dictates how wide it's going to be. Of course, you can put in your own value there if you want to, but that's going to work for me. Perfect. Now, when we put the drop down up here, I think it's just on hover, and I think that's going to work for me too. Let's go back into the drop down. Yeah, it's on hover. That's fine. That's great, but what are we going to do when we shrink it down? We want to turn it into a little hamburger. We don't want to see this main menu at all. So let's do that next. I'm going to go back into our initial row here, the green tab. I'm going to go to content, elements, inside the column. Inside that we should find our little image and our links. I'm going to add a new element. I'm going to add a little hamburger icon. Here's an icon. Let's go in there. Choose the actual icon we want. Or a menu icon. Obviously you choose what works for you, but this is pretty standard right here. I'm going to leave it that default color, but I do want it a lot smaller. So I'm going to go design, icon, Just try about 30 pixels. I think that's what I used last time. Great. Now here's where it starts getting fun. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back into this row. I'm going to save the whole row to my library. Clicking on the little 3 dots there. Save to library. And let's call it menu row. And we'll add it to the library. Now I'm sure some of you are ahead of me now. Now we've saved our row, I'm going to go into our little hamburger icon. I can just get to it there. If you have trouble getting to it, you can go over to wireframe over on the left hand side here. Here's our little structure. You can get to it right there. When you're ready, flip back. As you can see, I'm in the icon. What I'm going to do now is under content, elements, I'm going to add another drop down to our icon. Add element. Here's our drop down. It's put us inside the drop down, which is great. We're in the right place. Elements. I'm going to add a new element. Guess what I'm going to add? I'm going to add from the library this whole menu row. And obviously that's not going to work. It's shooting off to the side there, but we can fix that very easily. And I'm sure you're ahead of me on this. If we go into the row itself, the green tab, here's the column that's sitting in the row. We need to go back into this column. Here's the elements within the column. We don't need the image. We can get rid of that. Don't need the icon on the bottom, the hamburger icon. We can get rid of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to design, layout, and in the flex layout here, I'm going to switch it from top to bottom. And that should work nicely. Now our little drop down here at the moment, it's sort of dropping down below our text link, which is okay. I'd prefer if it was over the right when the user clicks on it. And also this is aligned to the left there. I'd like to push it this side perhaps. So again, let's go into the hamburger itself, the icon. Under the content will be our first drop down. In design, I'm going to go to drop down. It's aligned start, which would be left. How about if we put it to the end? That's exactly where I want it. So it's dropping down that way. Then if we go back to our content, into the row and the column, link number 3's got that drop down there. 1, 2, 3. Obviously you'd have names, you'd add real names and real links for yours. So let's go into this one. I'm going to go down to elements. There's the drop down that we've got working for it. So let's go in it. And I want it to be on the left hand side perhaps. At the moment it's set to float, which is fine. It's going to open on hover, which is fine too. That'll actually be a click on a tablet and mobile. It says below, let's put it on the left hand side also. And our other one's already set to open on the left hand side. Great. But of course we don't want to see this on desktop. And we don't want to see any of this on tablet and mobile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my icon and just get to it there again. I'm going to go over to advanced and visibility. I'm going to disable it on desktop. Let's grade it out. As you can see there, let us know on desktop that we can't see it. I want to keep my logo visible at all times. Let's go into one of these text links. I want to disable those on tablet and mobile because I don't want to see any of those. I go into my next one. I just click on my next one, do exactly the same thing. Very easy, very quick to do. Next one. Yeah. Finally, our last one over here. Wait, well, let's have a look now on tablet. As you can see, these are all grayed out, so we're not going to see them. But in the real world, our icon is going to end up over here. Just to show you, let's save this. I could have used a looper, but I've got no real pages on this site. So let's exit. We'll save our changes to our global header right here. And let's visit the site. It'll be very boring because it's an empty WordPress site. And we've got our nice little menu up here. We've got our drop down working here. I think I put a click on this one to get this one working. And as you can see, or as you can't see, we've got no little hamburger icon here. If I hit my F12 key, here we have it on an iPad. And that's okay, but you may want to make it way over on the left side there. That's entirely up to you. And we've got our drop down here. Oh, we've got another drop down here working perfectly. Now, if you did want this on the other side, let's just close this up. Go back into our theme builder here. We can go into our icon. Again, in the icon, go over to advanced, and we can use a bit of absolute positioning on it. Make it absolute here. Thrown it over to that side. I want it on this side. I still want it to be down in line with everything else. So we can adjust that with our vertical offset here. Let's try 10. Almost. I'd say that's about right. Also, let's just have a quick look on mobile. See, that's over the left-hand side there. Perfect. A little bit worried about our second drop down here. I may put that in line just on mobile. So while we're in the icon, to make sure I'm going to the right one, content, elements. Here's our drop down. Here's the row and the column. And it's our third link. Got the drop down in there. Inside that drop down, we've got some more links. It looks like the fourth link's got the drop down in it. There it is. For this particular drop down, I might make it in line. See if that keeps it on the screen. So I think that's going to be too wide on mobile. So once in that drop down, you can go to the drop down settings here. Instead of floating, let's put it in line. It'll put it underneath that one drop down. Let's save our changes. And we'll exit. Make sure everything's saved here. And we'll revisit the site. Let's open it in a new tab. Here's the regular menu. There's our first little drop down. Second little drop down on a click. And again, if I hit my F12 key, here it is on the iPad. We've got our hamburger over to the right-hand side here. And if I click on it, we got our first drop down. We got our second drop down. If I click on it again, we got our third drop down. And if we look on an iPhone, we'll click on it. Here's our first drop down. Our next drop down should be in line if I click on it. And they've got them all in line like that. Perfect. Let's close that up. We'll get rid of this. So there you have it, guys. Really interesting page. There's how to create a menu that disappears down into a hamburger on tablet and mobile there. Like I say, this has been pretty much identical to a regular menu. So some people may be saying, well, what was the point of that? But it just opens up so many possibilities with these new text links, and we can do mega menus. You can have graphical menus coming up. We'll do a few of those in the next week or so, just for examples. I just wanted to show you, we had a question said, well, how can you make a menu that goes down to a hamburger with this? So there's how to do it. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you have any questions, either about Divi 4 or Divi 5, put them down below. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a little demo video just like this one. So once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.